What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Show. It's the originals. It's Pete and Ramon back, and we're going to talk about Invincible on Amazon Prime. And I have to preface this, Ramon, with I have to learn to pretty much just do what you say when it comes to read. If you give me a book to read, I have to read it. Like, you told me to read Invincible. You told me to read Lock and Key. You told me to read Chew. You told me to read Invincible. And I read through all of those. They were phenomenal, obviously. I got like 20 issues into Invincible, and somehow I fell off. I don't know how. And now I'm kicking myself in the ass because I love this show, but there's a lot of setup, man, and I need to know what the hell's going on. But we'll get to that. What do you think of it? Because you've been on this series since the start.
I love it. It's so true to it. It's kind of scary how true it is. Because nowadays, everybody takes their own liberties with comic book licenses and whatnot.
Right.
But 4 episodes in, and little tweaks here and there, nothing major, nothing to complain about.
I was reading one article where Ryan Otley was addressing moving up the timeline for Omni-Man's betrayal. Like, if I remember, you didn't see that right away in the comics.
No, that takes a building up to do.
I don't even think I got to that part yet, but I knew about that because, just having you review the later issues on the show, he was the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, eventually things change, and there's a lot more once he betrays, officially betrays everybody. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's so much more that happens. I think they're building up, and hopefully they slow down for the later stuff with the later stuff. Because, you saw the first episode, you saw what Omni-Man did, and that was like a wow moment. But it just, they give so much more, and there's so much more wow, and like.
There were a few things like that I specifically remember you reviewing, and I kind of know a little bit about what's going to happen, and that's why I'm sitting there like, I need to go back and read all the books. I have to find out what's going on. What the fuck is Robot up to? What's his damn story? He's like, is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy? What the hell's going on here? Yeah, enough to make you to drink.
See, this Robot has a big chunk of story. Obviously Adam Eve has a big chunk of the story, and Mark growing from 17-year-old kid to a full-blown man is a huge story. And there's one story in particular that happens much later on that I'm very, very curious about how they're going to handle it, because in today's society, being so PC and delicate, I'll say it, they're a bit too delicate.
Yeah.
How they're going to handle that has me very curious.
Can you give us any insight into that? Because I have no idea what you're talking about on this one.
Somebody gets raped.
Wow.
Yeah, and I won't say who or by whom, but it's.
Oh, wait a minute! I remember this.
Yeah, so
this was around like issue 150 or something like that.
It is up there. It is further along than right now. We shouldn't be nowhere near it. So that's going to be.
I do
interesting
remember that.
How they handle that. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could tone that down to where it's just a infatuation instead of like a full blown,
I don't want them to. I want full blown rape. I'm not advocating for rape at all. No, that's
obviously
a monstrous thing to do. But it's like it happens. Then I think Amazon could pull it off in a cartoon series that's full blown for mature audiences, 18+.
I mean, they pretty much made that clear. There's been everything but nudity in this. It's the blood and gore is insane. I'm pretty sure they're dropping a few curses here and there.
They do.
Yeah. That other idiot Rex is like just cursing up a storm. He's such a douche.
I don't remember if he dies or not. I'm just hoping he does.
I hope he does, man. He fucking annoys the shit out of me.
But he gets kudos for like sleeping with a duplicating woman.
I mean, that's interesting. That's like pulling off the identical twins thing.
Yeah.
And like the animation is fantastic. I love the fact that Ryan Otley is so involved in it, like with the story and whatnot. How does it relate to the comics as far as like where are we in the timeline? I know we moved up the Omni-Man thing, but like you said, like how well does it mirror the books as opposed to, like you said, say the Marvel Universe taking artistic license and just picking and choosing storylines here and there?
Honestly, it's at least 90% accurate to the comic book.
That's great.
Like when the aliens, like that's a good thing. When you watch I watch Amazon Prime on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have easy access to when they show you like the X-ray feature where they tell you details and stuff like that. So the invading horde had one particular character that had a scar on his face.
Right.
That wasn't in the comic, but that's totally fine and acceptable because it adds a serial person to focus on.
Right.
That's the main enemy instead of just a bunch of aliens, and that was fine.
Right. Even though like you never got the guy's name or anything like that, like you knew that was the asshole from last time, so you have somebody to despise.
Yeah,
like
as continuity to the hatred. Continuity to the hatred.
So are they? Is that alien race like going to be the like the butt of jokes or something like throughout the series? Because it seems like that was the way they were going, or did Omni-Man just totally destroy them as of I think it was like episode 3 or something?
Oh, he in the cartoon, it seems like he annihilated them, but they should still be alive because they do play a role later on. They should, and it's a pretty significant role with some characters.
I'm really finding the humor of the whole thing, like even though like it has a very dark atmosphere, and especially if you know the comics, which I admit that I know of them, I know a little bit about it. I don't know everything like you do, but like the dude that came to Earth, like he was fighting him in space, and he was like, "Hey, I'm just like here to, give you like." It was like a government test, like he had
exactly it. It was just he's around. He's around in the comic books. He's around. He's going to be around in the future. He's going to play a pivotal role.
He amused the shit out of me, that guy.
Yeah, he's like crazy powerful, just not all there. And yeah, that's
he looked like a poor man's friggin' Dragon Ball Z character. And I don't know if that's how he was like built up or whatever, but that's what it reminded me of.
Probably. I mean, technically Invincible isn't that old.
No, how I mean, it's got to be at least a 10-year series, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're running 150 issues, 12 issues a series, doing the maths real quick, that's easily 10 to 15 years. Unless they went bi-monthly at any given point.
January 2003 is the first full appearance of Invincible.
That's got to be going crazy on the eBay market right now.
I remember Invincible and The Walking Dead were both two number ones that were just like nobody thought until it was too late, and then it's like the price is just stupid.
And then everybody tried to thought, and it's like now is not the time.
Yeah.
I can remember. I don't remember Invincible, I admit, but I can remember seeing The Walking Dead on the shelf. Like, who needs another fucking zombie book? And this coming from me, who loves horror. Like,
Yeah, no, it's also sad enough. It was not early on, but old Image, and it's like, how long is this going to be? A 5-issue thing? No.
And here we are. Walking Dead lasted like some 180 something issues or whatever. So inexplicably, the show is still going, which I don't even watch anymore. Like even I got tired of that shit. I couldn't deal.
All right, I'm looking at Invisible #1 on eBay. $9.50 or best offer.
Wow, for a raw or like what's the grade on it?
It's raw.
Jesus. Very fun. So if you're looking at a $9.50 raw, that's got to be you're probably looking at about $1,800 to $2,500 for a 9.8. Anything like that. That's insane.
So far on the 9.4 CGC, a limited edition foil one is $202. But there's 2 days and 3 hours left on that sucker.
Well, we all know what happens when people just like start sniping shit like that. The last 20 seconds, I have lost a lot of auctions, even within the last 5 seconds of things, some of which I still haunt me to this day. I lost the first Penguin by 50 cents.
Oh, that's fucked up.
It hurt, man. It really it hurt.
That hurts me, man.
Especially knowing what it was then and knowing what that book goes for now. It's hurtful. It's really offensive.
The Batman movie comes out, it's going to be more.
Oh, man. I've been advising people, some people have been asking me about, comics, like, is it time to sell this and that? And I'm like, some books you sell now, some books you hold. Like right now, if you've got any Winter Soldier books, get rid of them because the show's on. But if you've got like a Wolverine book that's burning a hole in your pocket, try and hold on to it a little bit longer until he eventually shows up in the movies. Same thing with like Giant Size X-Men and X-Men #1 are lighting up eBay right now. And it's insane what those books are going for. A 2.0, even just last year, let's say, went for about $4,000 or $5,000, give or take. Now that's a $12,000 book. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
Insane. The people have the stupid money to spend, and since there's no conventions, and admittedly that seems like it's going to change later on in the year. NYCC is back as of this week. They announced like, hey, we're coming back. They're sending out things to their dealers and other booth exhibitors that they're going to do it. In what capacity, we're not sure yet, but I guess that remains to be seen.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not that anxious to go this year. Like
I would like it to happen, but I've missed the last couple of years, not including last year, obviously, because it didn't happen.
Right.
I'm not trying to be in a concrete and glass cage with a bunch of geeks who normally a good amount of them stink and with mask on. I'm not trying to walk around
and just not
with a mask on.
That's for sure. And just like the amount of idiots who don't practice normal hygiene anyway. So it's like, what the fuck?
I want it to happen, but
on Comic Link and eBay. Yeah, like I don't really need to be there. And
I don't want like artists to get sick. Like Claremont isn't young, Larry Hama. I mean, there's a few legends that usually do show up.
Yep.
That,
Larry Hama's already said like, I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I mean, honestly, he's always
good for him.
He's a hit everywhere he goes. So I don't think he's in a rush to cram himself into like
for real.
Death Dome.
So here's a question: do we know at this point how many episodes Invincible is going to be? Is it going to be like 8 episodes, like The Boys? Because I don't feel like I'm going to get enough out of this in just 8 episodes.
That's a good question. I personally do not know.
And from your vantage point, someone who's read the series, how many seasons do you think it would take to cover everything with a reasonable amount of, not clarity, clarity is the wrong word to use, respect to the original storyline?
If depends how fast they move. Like, if they just stick to the whole father situation in this one and maybe a little more, they could probably do 5 years.
That's where I'm thinking, like 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And then maybe see where it goes from there before either people get tired of it, because let's face it, the average internet user is fickle and they lose interest as soon as another shiny red ball bounces in front of them.
It's 8 episodes per season.
Oh God, that's just not enough, man.
I agree.
There's just so much setup this year. That's the problem. Is everything
exactly what it is
getting set up, and then they're going to make us wait like another whole ass year before they give us anything else.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, it's just voice acting. The thing is, the artists, they have to get on top of it and just start producing.
Animation takes a while, man.
It does.
You're talking about 24 cells per second. At the very least 24. Sometimes now they'd be up into like 32 and 36. And okay, it's only another 12, but somebody's got to draw that shit, whether it's on computer or whether, obviously it's not by hand anymore like it used to be, but still, that shit takes a while. What the hell's going on with Castlevania? I know Warren Ellis is like off that series, but that left us on like a half a cliffhanger. Yeah, it could end where it left, but there should be more of that. Like Dracula's like awake and everything, like, oh hey, what's going on? And then end.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that series. As long as
and therein lies the problem. Because there's a lot of content running around these days. And I just made a whole list of like movies and like series that I want to see, whether Netflix, Amazon, or whatever. And I can totally tell you this real quick. Jiu-Jitsu with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
I don't know. It's Nicolas Cage. You mentioned Nicolas Cage and you lost me. Like tomorrow, I think. Is it tomorrow? Kung Fu.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that. I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because my dad and I used to watch Kung Fu: The Legend Continues back in the 90s, which was a direct continuation of the original David Carradine Kung Fu series, where it started out the grandson of Kwai Chang Caine walks out of the past, and it's like, okay, who the frig is Kwai Chang Caine? This is his grandson. What's up? So my father had to explain to me the 70s series, and then like, okay, well, watch this one. So I want to know if this is a reboot, or honestly, if this is Peter Kane's daughter from the 90s, I'll be just totally involved. And I think that would be dope if they actually brought back the original actor who played in the 90s series, David Carradine's son. It's like, I know nothing about it. I just know that the girl is she's like a cop of some kind, which is exactly what they were. Peter Carradine was a cop, and David Carradine was his father living in Chinatown in New York. So like, it could be dope. But that's the thing. They make all of these either reboot series or reunions or whatever. You need to pay respect to what came beforehand, to the fans of the shows that came beforehand. So if they make this a continuation of that storyline, which is really all you need is a name drop, for God's sakes. That's it. Okay. And just continue on.
According to Wikipedia, because
this is Wiki, so take it with a grain of salt.
This version is a reimagining rather than a reboot.
See, this is the problem with writers, okay? As a writer myself, every one of them needs to be punched in the face because they all think that they have this great, brilliant, new idea that no one's ever done before. Shut the fuck up. Pay some respects to what happened before you, you millennial piece of trash, and just write the story the way the fans want it.
Yeah, but this is Berlanti, so...
it is Berlanti.
He's involved.
All right, so maybe I'll give it a bit more credence than I would normally give something else.
And if you base it too much on the original is about a white guy taking over Asian culture.
Well, David Carradine was, I believe he was mixed. I don't believe he was totally a white guy. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, David Carradine was like mad kung fu-y though. Like he studied chi and all kinds of stuff like that. He was purported to be able to practically Hadouken motherfuckers across the room.
Of course.
I'm just saying. Kung Fu's all about like chi and spirit and stuff like that. Shaolin monks are not to be trifled with. If you run into one of them in a bar, which would be rare in and of itself, make sure he's on your side in the bar fight.
No, I mean, from what I see, David Carradine is straight up white boy.
Oh well, I was wrong. What can you do?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff coming out. And I mean, I'm still waiting for Mortal Kombat to come out.
Dude, was it like a week and a half now? April 16th.
No.
It comes out April 16th. I don't know what day that falls on.
That's next Friday.
All right. So
April 16th.
We will definitely have a review of Mortal Kombat for you guys. That should be great. Honestly, just from the trailer alone, it looks absolutely amazing.
And just like the thing about Mortal Kombat is so much. Like, how much are we actually going to get in the film?
Well, I mean, we've got an hour and a half. All I need out of it is a few fatalities and just a little bit of backstory. I don't care. Like Scorpion's Revenge was basically an animated version of the first Mortal Kombat, almost to a T, with some backstory of Scorpion.
Yeah.
And, I was okay with it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it by any stretch. So if there's anything to that effect mixed with the YouTube Mortal Kombat movie, which if any of you have never seen, I highly recommend you look that up. I think it's called Mortal Kombat Rebirth or something like that. It's got a surname, and I can't quite remember it. Did you see this shit with Michael Jai White as Jax?
Oh wow, that's almost perfect.
Yo, dude,
that is perfect.
It's Mortal Kombat like centered in kind of reality, like they're interviewing this guy who turns out to be Scorpion in like a police precinct, and then he like Scorpions out. It's sick.
Mortal Kombat Legacy.
That's what I said. Legacy.
Wow, 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, it was really dope.
Wow,
I can't believe it was 10 years ago. I only just looked it up the other day.
It was.
Yeah, it was just
Final
they
episode
came out
was
the other
2013.
day. It's ridiculous. I'm not certain, but I think it was the same producers that made Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, which if you're a fan of Street Fighter, you need to see that too. That was possibly the best Street Fighter movie we've ever gotten, ever. Which I admit, the bar of Street Fighter movies is very, very low, but nonetheless, that shit, it was all Ryu and Ken learning from Goken, and Akuma comes in, and then there's the history of Akuma, Goken, and Gotsetsu, which is their master. Like, yeah,
I saw that. I saw some of it, and not all of it.
So good.
And they started using that dark force, if you will. I don't know the name of it.
The Dark Hadu, the Satsui no Hadu.
Trying to avoid it in one sense, while obviously somebody just heading straight towards it. It was good.
Yeah, no,
I would love a good Street Fighter series.
Yeah. At this point, I know Black Widow just got moved from May to July or whatever. I don't care that much at this point. Like, Black Widow was a hard sell to begin with, and I don't know, maybe TV series have spoiled me, but why do I want a 2-hour movie when I could get a 9-hour TV series?
Mm-hmm.
I'm having much more fun, even if I have to wait a week in between, like with Amazon or Disney Plus instead of Netflix, which just gives you the shit and you binge the whole thing. Like, I'll bite either way. Either way, I don't have to deal with commercials, which is key for me. Like,
commercials suck. No, it's TV is such a win when you do it right, and even every week it's fine. Maybe not so much in WandaVision. I'm getting on my nerves, but I'm enjoying
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Thank you. Long ass title. Mm-hmm. So much more because it gives you something. Every week.
It's faster paced because it's only 6 episodes long, so they have to move it along. Since you brought that up, I want to give my thoughts on that real quick. I don't. By the way, spoilers in case nobody has seen episode 3. I don't think Sharon is the power broker. I think that's a red herring. I think they're trying to steer you toward thinking she is, but she's not. I think it's General Ross, bro.
Wow.
I think, and this series, just like WandaVision, is touting a, awesome cameo come episode 5. And hopefully they don't fucking troll us like Paul Bettany did, which I'm mad at, but I'm also like mad respect. Like, you got us. You meant you the whole time. Okay, great. But I mean, if we think about this, Zemo's running around now. He's out of prison, which that scene happened really fast for me. Like that was one of those you have to kind of just roll with the writing. Like, okay.
I think it was well done though. It was fast. I understand what you're saying, but it was well done. It was
cliche, like that. Like he's gonna go back over the story of this is how I would have done it, and I did it. It's a double-edged sword. Like on one hand, wow, that was really fast-paced, and I'm just led to accept it. On the other hand, they could very well have spent an entire episode planning the whole shit out and breaking him out of prison, where we would have been like, God damn it, just fucking do it already. So like, I know I'm being a bitch about that. I'm being a whiny bastard. I get it. But nonetheless, I don't know if it's the actor or the writers, but Zemo has a mountain of charisma. Like, you cannot help but like this guy.
Yeah.
First of all,
awesome.
He dances like I do.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me. I was like, what?
I was like, yo, I dance just like that. He's doing the rowboat. This is my move, the rowboat. We row. This is what we do. We row. But like, if General Ross is the power broker, he's a military lifer. Mm-hmm. If anybody would want a super soldier serum, it's this guy to give to soldiers for war or whatever, Black Ops kind of crazy shit. Also, he eventually led the Thunderbolts as Red Hulk.
And we know that
Zemo also headed up the Thunderbolts. This is an easy direction. Plus, I mean, if General Ross is seen injecting himself with the super soldier serum and Hulk's out, because we don't have a big bad for this yet. We have the power broker, but we don't know who it is. I can't see it being Sharon Carter because these two guys, Sam and Bucky, have to fight somebody. And let's face facts. In this, as you stated before, PC culture, you can't have two dudes beating the shit out of a woman, super powered or not. Yeah. That's not going to go over well at all. So Sharon is going to be the one to take down the other girl, the super powered chick, because you can't have two dudes kill off a woman, period. Like, that's just, no, that's not going to look right. They're heroes. You can't have that. But also, for the last 3 episodes, they've had you looking at her like she's kind of a hero, like a Robin Hood, robbed from the rich, give to the poor. And you're like, why am I rooting against this girl? Oh, because she just killed a bunch of basically innocent soldiers. Like, they're just there doing their job. Like, So, okay, now I understand, like, she's kind of a little unhinged and is the bad guy. So that'll be Sharon's nemesis. We still need someone for Bucky and Sam. And that's why I think it's going to be General Ross. Because couple that with the episode 5 reveal / cameo, what if they fought Red Hulk? Like, how insane would that be? They're probably not. They're probably going to wind up fighting Captain America and who was the other guy? Battlestar or something?
I don't remember his name. I heard it and it was just cheesy, and I was like,
yeah, I didn't even bother to look that up. I'm sure it's something from the 90s that's like a random throwback or whatever. But nonetheless, like, I think that the Thunderbolts are on their way, and I think Zemo's going to stay free. I don't foresee him getting taken away to Wakanda to face trial or anything like that. I think that
was a pleasant surprise.
That was cool. Like, yeah. I'm liking the series. It's only 3 episodes left, so we'll see what happens. But
did you notice the bar?
I did notice the bars. There was the Princess Bar, and I forgot the name of the other one. But the Princess Bar was the one that Wolverine worked at as Patch. Yeah. Yes.
Which is like, at the end of this, the best way to do something, what I would do is, at the end of this, when the power broker loses his position, you introduce Tiger from Wolverine storyline as the new power in Madripoor. And, she maybe throws out the name Logan out there, or Patch, but actually. And that would be so spot on.
Yeah, just name drop it, and the internet will lose its collective mind.
Yes, it would. And so would I. Oh my God. I would just, because I mean, there are several badass Asian women you can get to play freaking Tiger, and it's the perfect timing to do this.
It really is, because you don't have to have any casting. All you have to do is name drop, and we'll worry about the casting way later on. Like, you don't have to touch that storyline for over a year, and just bait the hook, but let people know that it's coming, and that's it.
Yep.
So we want to know what you guys thought. Give us your thoughts on Invincible, on Falcon Winter Soldier. What else are you watching? What are you binging? I just got finished watching Paradise PD. This is This is a weird show from the creators of Brickleberry. Brickleberry used to be on like After Family Guy or something. And this is like just a rated R Netflix version. The humor is very crude. If you can bring yourself back to like a 12-year-old prepubescent dick and potty humor jokes, you will like this show. Admittedly, some of it's over the top. Some of it's too much for me. But some of it's also pretty damn funny. So,
wait, it's too much for you?
You know, I don't dive into that crude sexual humor or crude potty humor all the time. I can make a good fart joke or something like that, but there's some of it that is just like, you know.
No, I see.
But
I'm literally seeing it now, like images, like wow.
I would recommend the series. It's overall, it's funny. The characters are fun. It entertained me for the 3 seasons, and each episode is short. It's like 25 minutes. You can breeze through it. So let us know what you're watching. Hit us up. Questions@Pete'sBasement.com, Facebook.com/Pete'sBasement, Instagram, Twitter, etc. @Pete'sBasement. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Pete's Basement's back. We will be doing these Zoom-style episodes until we can get back together in the basement. We'll see you soon. Salud. There's the end broadcast button. Pete's Basement is copyrighted 2020. Ripped Productions. All rights reserved. So go fuck yourself.